It appears Unrivaled has gotten its answer, and Caitlin Clark is out.
Unrivaled just announced their rosters for this upcoming season while simultaneously pulling off the biggest troll.
Fans are stunned. Caitlin Clark has turned down a jaw-dropping $2 million offer from the brand new Unrivaled League.
This was the November 20th deadline that, if you guys remember a few weeks ago, Nafisa Collier said that by November 20th, all the players would be announced and we would get the official lineups for each.
The league's future now hangs in the balance. ESPN confirmed the shocking development after months of promotional buildup featuring Clark at the center. With Unrivaled banking on her star power, this sudden rejection raises one huge question. Could their debut season already be doomed?
Unrivaled did the funniest thing last night that got a lot of us.
When the news became official, the basketball world couldn't believe it. 10 weeks of play for $2 million, life-changing money, and a historic figure in women's basketball. Yet the golden girl of the game has walked away from what many call the chance of a lifetime. Her response? Simply, is this really happening?
Just last night, Unrivaled put out this letter where they said, "Dear management, what might seem like an average Wednesday in November is in fact a momentous occasion. Okay. A momentous occasion for those who follow women's professional basketball. Please excuse blank from 11 a.m. to 11:22 a.m. Eastern time so that they can watch Unrivaled's basketball club selection presented by State."
Unrivaled was marketed as the future of women's basketball, a fast-paced, 3-on-3 style league packed with stars. From day one, Caitlin Clark was billed as the crown jewel. Teasers hinted at her iconic number 22. Cryptic promos all but shouted, "Clark is coming." But when the official roster dropped, her name was missing. And then came ESPN's bombshell. Caitlin Clark will not be joining Unrivaled.
On to say 11 a.m. once again, and at the very end reminds you once again 11 a.m. to 11:22 a.m. Eastern time. Now, the whole thing about this Unrivaled League is when they are announcing new players, they have always done like a teaser video before they announce the players. They've always been about doing little mysteries or Easter eggs or trying to get people to like guess who was gonna join Unrivaled.
There's a lot to unpack here. So let's start with the money. Reports say Unrivaled put $2 million on the table for just 10 weeks of play, an eye-popping $200,000 per week. For perspective, the average WNBA salary is around $120,000 for an entire year. On top of that, Clark was reportedly offered equity in the league, meaning she wouldn't just be playing, she'd be part owner. Why walk away from such a massive deal? Timing may be one reason. Clark's calendar is already overflowing with speaking appearances, endorsement obligations, and other commitments. Adding a 10-week league during the holiday season, especially with her expected NBA All-Star Weekend appearance, may have simply been too much, but the scheduling issue is only part of the story. Some insiders say Clark's decision reflects deeper concerns about the league itself. Unrivaled is brand new and proven, and let's be honest, a gamble. Yes, they had bold plans for Clark, who has already cemented her legacy in traditional basketball, but the risks may have outweighed the rewards. Equity sounds glamorous, but it's risky. If the league flops after a season or two, that ownership stake becomes worthless. The fallout has been brutal. Fans are outraged, flooding social media with anger and disappointment. Many feel misled by Unrivaled's months-long hype campaign that heavily hinted Clark was on board. To make matters worse, the league left 2 wildcard roster spots unfilled during its announcement. Fans were convinced those spots were saved for Clark and another star, possibly Aya Wilson. Instead, nothing. The result? A PR nightmare. One fan summed it up. "This feels like a bait and switch." Another tweeted, "Unrivaled has serious damage control to do." Still, beneath all the anger, one question lingers. Did Caitlin Clark just dodge a bullet? This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about the entire women's sports landscape. Unrivaled put all their chips on her, and they played their hand too early. Now, they're left with nothing. Clark's decision highlights a hard truth. Building a new league is brutally difficult, even with star power and bold ideas. Women's sports have made huge strides, but this shows just how much work still lies ahead. Critics argue that by betting everything on Clark's presumed involvement, Unrivaled overhyped its debut before securing the one player that could actually deliver. The result, an uphill battle to win back credibility before their January launch. For Clark, though, the move makes sense. As one of the most marketable athletes in women's sports, she has the luxury of choosing where to spend her time and energy. By rejecting Unrivaled, she's protecting her brand and saving her strength for bigger opportunities. For fans, however, it feels like a lost moment. The league's 3-on-3 format may be innovative, but without Clark's star power to draw in viewers and sponsors, that innovation risks going unnoticed. The backlash is real. Months of cryptic teasers and hints about her involvement have backfired, leaving fans disappointed and critics questioning whether Unrivaled ever had a concrete plan. Players like Aya Wilson and Lexi Hall have signed on, but no one matches Clark's pull. Unless the league finds new ways to generate buzz, it risks losing momentum before its first ball is even tipped. The bigger picture is unavoidable. Clark was offered $2 million and ownership stakes, yet she still passed. If she doesn't see enough value in joining, what does that say about the state of women's sports and how far it still has to go to reach true equity? For comparison, male athletes in similar positions routinely earn far more without the same risk. Unrivaled's inaugural season was meant to be a watershed moment, a new platform to showcase the best in the game. Instead, it begins under a cloud of doubt. Fans wonder, will this ambitious project prove itself without Clark, or collapse under the weight of expectations? One thing is certain, this story is bigger than just one player or one league. Caitlin Clark's decision has sparked a wider conversation about the future of women's basketball, and whether bold ideas alone are enough to change the game. Will Unrivaled bounce back and prove it can survive without Caitlin Clark? Or will this go down as a cautionary tale about just how hard it is to launch a brand new sports league from scratch? To understand the weight of Clark's decision, we need to look at what Unrivaled was really trying to do. This wasn't just about starting another league. Their vision was to redefine women's basketball. The format, fast-paced, high-energy, part street ball, part pro showcase, was designed to attract audiences who might not normally tune in. On paper, it was bold, exciting, and innovative. But in reality, it was untested. And for something this risky, the league needed one thing above all: legitimacy. That's where Caitlin Clark came in. Clark wasn't just a player, they needed her star power to give the league credibility. Without her, Unrivaled risks an identity crisis. Yes, talents like Aya Wilson and Lexi Hall bring respect, but they don't carry Clark's global pull. She was the brand, the magnet for sponsors, and the headline that would grab casual fans. The $2 million wasn't simply a paycheck. It was an investment in Clark's influence, a bet that her presence alone could elevate the entire project. But the league's heavy reliance on cryptic marketing, teasers, cryptic promos, even a 22-minute video alluding to her jersey number, backfired. Fans felt misled, believing Clark was already committed. When her name didn't appear on the roster, it wasn't just disappointing, it damaged trust. Now Unrivaled has to find another way to spark excitement, and that won't be easy. From Clark's perspective, though, this was never just about the money. Turning down $2 million isn't a casual move. It was a calculated choice to protect her brand, her time, and her future. She knows her value, and she knows that being tied to an unproven league could do more harm than good. In the end, Clark's absence leaves a glaring hole, not just in Unrivaled's roster, but in their entire identity. The league must now prove it can stand on its own, or risk collapsing before it ever truly begins. For Caitlin Clark, joining an unproven league wasn't just about money, it was about legacy. Stepping into something so uncertain could have put her career and reputation at risk. Yes, $2 million is groundbreaking for women's basketball, but it's impossible to ignore the wider context. Male players in similar situations routinely earn far more. Clark's decision doesn't just highlight her personal priorities. It shines a light on the persistent pay gap and structural challenges facing women's sports. What does this mean for Unrivaled moving forward? Their debut season is still set for January, but the road ahead will be uphill. To recover, they need to stop dwelling on the superstar they don't have and focus on the ones they do. Aya Wilson, for example, is a phenomenal player with a loyal fan base. If marketed properly, she could still carry momentum into the season. Another strategy, lean into the uniqueness of the 3-on-3 format. No other professional league is offering this style of high-speed, high-energy basketball. If they can sell it as a fresh, dynamic alternative, they might win over fans looking for something new. But make no mistake, the credibility hit is real. Unrivaled will need to prove, on the court, that they can deliver quality, competitive basketball. Only then can they hope to rebuild trust. Meanwhile, Clark's career continues to soar. With major endorsement deals like State Farm and countless speaking engagements, she's already one of the most marketable athletes in all of women's sports. By rejecting Unrivaled, she sent a message. She's not chasing short-term hype. She's building a long-term legacy. And here's the bigger point. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. Her decision will ripple across the industry, forcing leagues, sponsors, and fans alike to confront the tough realities of women's sports. The gap remains wide, the challenges remain steep, and the future depends on whether bold experiments like Unrivaled can adapt or collapse. Clark's decision was supposed to be a game changer, an opportunity to showcase the best athletes on a bold new platform. Instead, her rejection is a stark reminder of how difficult it is to build something original, even with ambitious ideas and household names. Yes, the $2 million offer was historic, but it also highlighted a larger truth. Women's sports still face systemic obstacles, especially when compared to the massive payouts male athletes regularly receive. Still, let's not write off Unrivaled just yet. This setback could become an opportunity if the league pivots smartly. Instead of chasing one superstar, they can focus on building storylines, drama, rivalries, and personal journeys that fans can emotionally connect with. They've hinted at reality-style content before, behind-the-scenes footage, raw interviews, and documentary-style coverage. If executed well, that could be their secret weapon. And in today's media world, platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram are just as critical as the games themselves. The league's 3-on-3 format is tailor-made for fast, shareable highlights that can spread online and attract new audiences. By leaning into storytelling and fan engagement, Unrivaled can still carve out a niche. Even without Caitlin Clark to AS for Clark herself, her path remains brighter than ever. She's already one of the most influential athletes in women's sports, with endorsements, speaking engagements, and a brand built on her own terms. By turning Unrivaled down, she reinforced her commitment to long-term success and control over her career. She's not afraid to take risks, but only the ones that truly align with her vision. Oh, what do you think? Did Caitlin Clark make the right call walking away from Unrivaled? Or was this a missed chance for both sides? And more importantly, what does this mean for the future of women's basketball? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss the latest stories shaking up the sports world. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.